Our podcast is a part of the World Podcast Network, now with over 1,000 podcasts. Visit the World Podcast Network at worldpodcast.network to listen to podcasts in over 12 genres. Come vote our podcast episodes up and help us rise on the leaderboard. If you have a podcast of your own, you can join for free. Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episode once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore. We're currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man of 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Welcome to Reality T times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be doing the final episode of 90 Day Diaries. We're going to finish it up. But before we head into it, I don't have any hot goss. But just again, quick little announcement here. Just continuing with the Patreon announcement you would have heard already. This month's third tier true crime documentary is going to be Escaping Twin Flames. That's on Netflix. You can look out for the bonus episode on the main feed of the coverage of the first episode only. Episode 2 and 3 of the series, my coverage of that, will be available exclusively to Patreon. So, of course, if you like what you hear on the main feed and you want to be a part of that, you can go to patreon.com/realityt times 2, join the third tier, and you can try that for free for a week. And then, then you can head on over to, it's not head on over, honestly, try it for free. And then if you like it, you can, you'll start paying after a week, through the Patreon. Again, patreon.com/realityt times 2 for that. So anyways, let's head into the reason why we're here, and that's the final episode of Diaries. Don't remember which episode it is. 12? Yeah, 12. So this is going to be a combined Diaries situation here. So I'm going to go in order as much as possible, but at the same time, I'm going to kind of group everyone together just so it makes a little bit more sense to me. So anyway, we are with Ty Ray. He's back, and he tells us that he's actually going to be heading to San Diego to see some friends. Yeah. And he's thinking, maybe I might move here. He's like, I'm getting weight loss surgery in a couple of months. This could be just another way of having change in life. So that's something that he's considering. So he lands in San Diego and is, getting his stuff. And he's like, well, I hope my friend is here. And he goes outside, and who's picking him up? None other than Kimbali. Yeah. So she tells us basically that we're going to be going to lunch. She has a special friend that's going to be there with them as well. So on the way there, Tyree basically tells Kim, like, I'm thinking moving out here. Of course, Kim's excited and thinks this could be a great idea. Well, we'll talk about that a little more later. So we get to this place for lunch, and with that special friend, the dum dum who was actually considering marrying Ed. Yeah, Liz. Liz is here, which is perfectly fine talking about her without without Ed in the mix. But yeah, we're basically our little friend name, little group. We call ourselves the Wow Factors. They don't even know why, because one person says, "Yeah, we met each other," and it's like, "Wow," whatever the wow was that time. Can't remember. Maybe what was it? Like the wow factors in terms of like we're cool or whatever. Liz is like, I think wow, and I think wow, our journeys. Yeah, fucked up. hmm So Tyree, kind of doing the rundown of how everybody's doing. Tyree brings up Shannon. Now Shannon is the girl he kissed on the tell-all. They apparently tried to date, but unfortunately, with him living 6 hours away in Modesto and her, I think in LA, it just wouldn't have worked. But if he's in San Diego, he says like he would, be closer to Shannon so that maybe they can actually have an actual date. So I guess we'll see. Anyway, Kim was like, so I'm talking to this guy who, Kim knocked on knocking from the past. They dated before us men, obviously. She's known him for about 6 years. She's like, he's nice, he's great, whatever, the sex is good. Sex is fire. But he's living the life, the bachelor life, and, having fun. And she's like, maybe he's not ready for a serious relationship. Girl, y'all just started talking. Okay. He hasn't even been able to have the cookie sense. Okay. I don't know if he's thinking about anything else but, you know what I mean? She basically says, like, I'm not sure how I feel about, you know, going on a date. She's a little nervous, I guess. But Liz says, listen, go talk to your mans. Tyree, you go talk to your girlfriend. Do what you gotta do. And first and foremost, Kim, all she wants is for you to get that D. Get that D. So Liz, we learn a little bit what's going on with her. She's been with Jason now for over a year, but he's about to get restationed. He'll be able to stay in San Diego. I guess it's kind of like you've already done this. You've been here. You did the damn thing. Now it's time to get back to warmer weather. Um, but they say like moving to San Diego, it's a gambler. Well, he basically says like he won't be able to stay in San Diego, and it's a gamble where he'll end up. But she's like, if it's far, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be long distance. So then we see Kim and Tyree are gonna be looking at a place. The apartment is quite nice. It's spacious. The view is great. It's $20.50 a month, which is like more sorry, less than some places in my small town. So it's really good. It's like you take it and run. He says though, he currently pays 1,600 for his place and he would like to stay under 2,000. You can't compare Modesto prices to San Diego, sir. And I literally wrote, boy, if you don't take this and run, It's like $50 above the max for him. So what's $50? Now, of course, we need to ask the questions. Is utilities included? How much is parking and stuff like that? So yes, it could potentially get above his budget, but 2050 for that apartment in San Diego is, to me, seems incredible. Then we are, so actually I'm going to stop there with the combined beeps, um, just because we need to keep this in order here. So Jason, we're with Liz now, is teaching her some Spanish. She seems to be struggling with that. Anyways, he says, so that thing with work, as we talked about his transfer, it is happening and it has happened today. He has three options for where he can go. He was given Japan, Spain, or Seattle. I personally think he would have picked Spain, but he's like, Seattle's could work. It's only 2 to 3 hours away. And she says, yeah, but it's still a long distance. Better than damn Japan or Spain, my girl. But anyways, she could still long distance. But he says, like, you could move with me to Seattle. Like, would you do that, basically? And she says, I have to talk to Riley because if we remember, she's done this before, moving for a man. And she says that she doesn't want to just move and then the relationship fail because that's what happened last time. So, yeah, we then see her the next day with Riley. They're driving to a bridal store to donate her dress that she never got to wear. She says it's been sitting in her trunk since she left Arkansas. And I'm like, did it sustain the heat? Like, I don't know. But anyways, they kind of talk a little bit about whether or not Riley's happy with how things turned out, with her not marrying Ed. Funnily enough, Riley does say she's happy that she did not marry Ed. And also then says, I wonder who's cleaning his dishes. Because apparently he's useless, actually. We already knew he is. But anyway, she says she's bringing Riley to the bridal store while she donates the dress to basically show her that that's over. That chapter is closed. It's never being reopened because obviously, with the ups and downs of her relationship with him, her daughter saw a lot of that. So this is just a way to show it's over. It's never going to happen again. So when they get there to donate the dress, the lady there says, oh, the dress is beautiful. You must have looked beautiful in it. Well, no, ma'am, because she never got to wear the dress. So while after all that's kind of happened, she does talk to Riley about Jason and moving to Seattle. How do you feel about that? She says, it would be fun. Plus, they got a lot of vegan food in Seattle. Guess her daughter's vegan. She says, so do you have any questions? Like anything at all? You feeling good vibes? Riley's all about it. Um, she says, if you don't feel good about it, listen, we'll kick him to the curb. Like that, And I think she is handling things pretty good for the most part. Um, so yeah, that's kind of that for now. We're gonna go back to everybody, the wow factor here. Um, and that is we're at Kim's place of employment, the spa. Tyree is like, what do I do? Do I put the robe on? Do I take my pants off? Do I keep my underwear on or take them off? Well, just put the robe on, take the top off. You can leave your pants on if you so choose. But please, dear Jesus, leave your underwear on. She's then taking them around the spa chemist. We pass the saunas and we get a story that I didn't ask for, but Liz definitely gave to us about Liz and Ed having sex in the sauna for 2 hours and it ended with a UTI. I have so many questions that I didn't want to even want to have. But number one, the sauna though, really? That's like hot yoga, but with your clothes off. Number two, Ed with Ed. Ed. Really? And then for 2 hours? Where was the staff? Did they think it odd that you two are not coming out of the damn sauna for two? I got questions. Like, what? And then it ends with the UTI for one or both of you. Because we know she definitely did. I just have so many questions that I don't want to have because I have mental images. And, ooh, okay, let's move on. Kim is like, well, I haven't had sex in like 2 years, not since Usman. Girl. So the last time you've had sex was with him? Damn. So Liz tell everyone, so we have decided we are officially moving to Seattle. Kim says, well, do you feel like you're moving for the man or do you feel like you're doing it for yourself? Well, of course she's doing it for the man. And she says as much like I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I am definitely doing it for the man, but it is for me too, because in the end of the day, she wants this relationship. She wants it with him. So, yes, it's partially for her as well, but we're seeing a pattern here. If she did this with Ed, that didn't go good. Now she's doing it with Jason. And as we know, spoiler alert, everybody, they're not together anymore either. I'm sure things ended very differently, very amicably in comparison to Ed. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Kim does think that it's too soon. I I wouldn't disagree. Just with the sense of you you've only been with him for like what, a year at this point? And to uproot yourself in a year? I don't know, man. Anyway, Kim says that she's going to go on a date. This date with this guy that she was talking about before, so more on that in a minute. We talked to Tyree, and they're basically talking about Shannon. Again, Shannon's the one that he has first kiss with during the tell-all for single life. He says, you know what? I've been thinking about it. Uh, Liz says, like, offer her some gas money and say, let me take you to dinner. And he's like, okay, I'm going to text her. And he does. And she responds back with, yeah, let's do this. Like, let's go on a date. So that's kind of it for everyone at this point. Let's go back to Liz. So her and Jason are driving to Seattle. They're officially moving. It's about a 20-hour drive. She asks, so how long can I go without shaving? He says 2 to 3 days. Girl, go as long as you want. She says, can I pee in front of you? He's like, yeah, you can pee in front of me. Can I pee in the shower? He draws a line there. Don't pee in the shower. So anyways, not much else to say about them at this point. So with Kim, first of all, I have to say, what is with this Timbaland music? Shake it down over there. Shake it down. Hey, hey, hey. It was so weird. Anyway, she's going on her date. He's weird. And again, black people sometimes you can't tell. He looks young, but then he also has an older look to his face too. Like it's weird. It's like a Benjamin Button type situation. But he does look definitely, I would say at minimum, like maybe max, I would say more max, about 10 years younger than her. But hell, y'all, he could be 45 and I don't even know. Anyways, he's definitely not in his 50s. That's all I could say. Not that that matters. Do you, I guess, but she definitely has a type. She definitely has a type. Anyway, they are bowling, and she says, without sex for so long, everything can kind of turn into an innuendo. So here we go. when they go to say they want to do some bowling, the guy at the counter with the shoes and everything is like, "So how long do you want to play for?" And he says, "Or how long do you want to go for?" And she says, "How long do we want to go for?" Preferably as long as you can go for, sir. And like the bowling. Anyways, the next thing that's said is, "Let me play with some balls." Lord, I grab the balls. Ball. I grab the ball. Um, but they do agree to go out again. And as much as she definitely wants to have sex with somebody and she has had sex with this person before, she is, as Dina would say in Jersey Shore, holding on to the golden ticket. Because not everyone can go to the chocolate factory. So, anyways, that's the date for Kim. Let's go back to Tyree real quick. He's heading to the place now to be meeting up with Shannon. They're going on their date. So he asked, like, how was the drive? She said it was good. Then there's nothing. Nothing is being said. They are not talking to each other. It is awkward as hell. All we're hearing is tirade, ha 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 ha, laugh type situation. But you know what? Y'all should have brought him a gift. He didn't even bring her flowers, but she brought him a gift. It's a glass with the coordinates of where they first met engraved at the bottom of it. The woman took time to think this through. All he came with was nothing. Nothing, not a shit. He tells her, I may be moving out here. And she says, well, that's great news for me because she seems to be really into him. And, she's definitely seems happy with the prospect of him moving out to San Diego. But anyways, that's basically the date. 1 week later, after all of that, we were doing a Zoom hang with the wow factors. Kim says, the date was good. They actually have a walk plan where they're going to be going on a walk on the beach. So that's kind of what's coming up for them. Tyree is like, my date was chill. She got me a gift. Let me go get it. And he shows them the gift. On top of the engraved part of it, it also says nothing happens by chance. Wow. Like this one we really put thought in. But y'all, my guy kissed her in front of a tell-all audience, or, like us, the viewers, is Sean and everyone else. He kisses this girl, but he didn't kiss her on the stage. But he says, I am officially gonna be moving to San Diego. Liz is like, damn, like I left, now you're moving. But, anyways, that's basically it. We're done with Diaries. I am probably thinking of doing like a roundup of sorts for 90 Day. It's been so long. I wanted to kind of do like a quick little roundup again, in anticipation for the tell all coming soon. I might wait until next week to release that with the newer episode coming out. So that will probably come, but we're gonna wait for that episode to come out. I am also planning to do a roundup episode for the tell-alls for Sister Wives. So that's gonna happen as well. Don't know when that's finishing, but that's coming. That's gonna be happening. Um, what else? Um, and then yeah, the Hunt for Love. I'll probably do a roundup for that as well, just because, we're on, I think, the third episode and they're long. So I'll probably do a roundup for that as well coming up fairly soon. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing just so I can catch up with what's going on. Secret Lives is still happening. Don't worry, you'll still get those in the meantime while I work on the other episodes. Um, but yeah, I know there's other new show Virgins that's coming out. I haven't decided if I'm going to cover that now or if that will be something that will come up later on. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see kind of how it is because I was planning to officially or initially do polyfamily for the Christmas releases and everything. But with the allegations that have come forward about the older guy, um, I'm not doing it now. So yeah, that's basically, we'll see kind of how it goes. I'll have the decision for, you know, once that comes out, which is very soon. It's coming out tomorrow as I record this. So yeah, that is basically it. That is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I'll read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.